Hello, hello, Jen Rulon from jenrulon.com and Rulon Racing. Thank you so much for jumping on board and trying to learn how to swim better, how to bike better, how to run better, because we are here to help you out get to the finish line with a smile. And so my goal for this course is to help you figure out what works for you. Now, here's the thing. There's so much information online that it could be truly overwhelming. So my goal for you is to educate you on different aspects of triathlon, but then take what helps you to get to the best of your ability. So let's begin. This educational presentation is going to be educating you about your swim workouts. What I've seen with athletes is a lot of people will go in, jump in the pool, and swim 2,000, 2,500 meters, 3,000, and then that's it. They don't break up their swim workouts like they should. We do that on the bike, we do that on the run. Now it's time to do it in the swim. Let's begin. So how do you figure out your swim workouts? So my goal for my athletes is that I want you to break up that workout. And what it's going to consist of is a warm-up, some drill work, whether it's kicking drills or arm drills, main set, which can generally consist of 1,000 to 3,000 meters, sometimes 4, depends on what distance race you're doing, a cool down. And so your total work of this swim workout is going to range from 1,500 to 4,000 meters or yards, depending on what pool you're at. So this is how I like to break up workouts for my athletes. First and foremost, a warm-up. You must do a warm-up. We see that for an Ironman triathlon. We see that for a 5K. We see that for a 10K. We see that for biking and running. So a warm-up in a pool is going to consist of 300 to 500 meters. Truthfully, it really depends on how long the main set is going to be. So if your main set is over 3,000 meters, then maybe you won't be swimming as long for that warm-up set. What you're going to do is you're going to mix it up a little bit. You're going to do some freestyle. You're going to do some breaststroke. You're going to do some backstroke. And even if you can, maybe you'll do some butterfly. But that is all dependent on what you're comfortable with and exactly what you can do. So usually what I will have my athletes do is about 7,500 free, 25 choice. And you repeat that 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times. Next is kick drills with fins or without fins. Now here's what I see with athletes is that a lot of athletes will use the fins, but will use them too much. So my goal for you guys is to use the fin during the kick drills and the arm drills, but that is it. In the next mission, you will see the type of drills that we are talking about that I would like to see you do generally for a warm-up. Usually we're looking at 300 meters to 400 meters of kick drill. So that drill can consider flutter kick on the back, flutter kick on the front, dolphin kick on the front, dolphin kick on the back, side kick right, side kick left, flutter kick on the front with the board, flutter kick on the back with the board. I also forgot, you can also do dolphin kick on the back and the front with the board. So it just depends on your comfortability of swimming. So if you are just used to doing the flutter kick, then stick with the flutter kick. But you can get in at least 300 meters of the flutter kick with your fins. What you would do is maybe 50 flutter kick front, 50 flutter kick back, 50 flutter kick side on the right, 50 flutter kick left, and voila, that's 200 meters right there. And then you could repeat that again, and that's about 400 meters. So you could really break up the drill set with your kicking. Once again, we will show you kick drills later on in the next mission. Next is your arm drills. Now, if you are a pretty good swimmer, I would say do those arm drills without your fins. But if not, I am totally fine with you using the fins for the arm drills. Once again, we're going to discuss a little bit more into detail about your drills on the next mission, but let's talk exactly what I am looking at. So for the arm drills, you will do single arm drill right, you could do single arm drill left. When I say pony drill, I say 3 arms right, 3 arms left, and then you would repeat that. Catch-up drill with a board. So a catch-up drill is when you have one arm out and then you have the other arm out catching up to that opposite arm. So you could do that with a PVC pipe, you could do that with a kickboard, or you could do that without anything. A fist drill truly teaches you how important that hand is. Truthfully, I hate the fist drill, and it really does show you how crucial that hand is for a quote unquote paddling through yourself, through the water. Last but not least, fingertip drill. The fingertip drill is where you take your fingers and you drag them along the water. Sometimes you see a lot of athletes with really high elbow, and if you are a swimmer that does not have the high elbow and you sort of swing those arms around, then the fingertip drill will help you drastically. Here's the great thing about all of these drills. You can make up at least 300 to 600 of just arm drills alone. So you'll see below here, you'll see 25 right, 25 left, 25 pony, 25 swim. You can do that 3 times. There's your 300. You could do this 1 time, and then you could do 25 catch up, 25 swim, and repeat that twice. That's another 100. So there's a lot of things to do for those arm drills that's really going to help you out. So you can get a lot of swimming in with just the drills alone. Now let's talk about the main set. There is so much you can do for the main set that it was impossible for me to put swim workouts down. So what I try to do is I try to put some of my favorites down. So bear with me because we have the next 2 slides as your main set. So remember, you're going to do a warm-up. You're going to do about 600 meters of swimming or drills, and then you're going to work on your main set. When we talk about main set, we're looking at interval work. Think of yourself as on the track and the run. Think of yourself on a time trial on a bike. This is exactly what we're doing, but we're doing it in the pool. So a great example is sets of 50. Depends on the length of your pool, usually a down and back. If you're long course, it's just 1 set, 1 down. So you could do 30 by 50 on a certain interval. So when we say certain interval, an example would be you do a 50 on a minute. And that means if you come in at 50 minutes, you have 10-second rest. If you come in at if if you come in a minute, if you come in 50 seconds, you have 10 seconds to rest, not 50 minutes. If you come in on that 50 at 58 seconds and you're still doing that 1 minute, you have 2 seconds. So when we talk about certain intervals, we are also looking at the rest interval in that 50. So if you know you're consistent about 55 to a minute on your 50s, then I would say pick that 110. So then you will have a 10-second rest. One of my favorite main sets is the 100 meters, 10 by 100s with a 10-second rest. So you do that 100-meter swim or yards, and then you rest for 10 seconds. You repeat that 10 times. You can do that same type of series with 150, with 200, with 250, 300, 400, and even 500. If you look at that last 500 set, I'll do 5 by 500. The odds, a swim, the evens, I'll add a pull buoy and paddles. Generally, you should be able to go faster with the pull buoy and paddles. You'll also notice that when I have 100 swim set or main set, you have a 10-second rest. If you have a 200, you have a 20-second rest. If you have a 300, you have a 30-second rest. You see where this is going? But when it comes to that 500, you don't need to take a 50-second rest. You need to push it just a tad. So that is really good sets that you can do your warm-up, you can do your drills, and then you can do 4 by 300s, and voila, you are already at 2,000 meters of your swimming. Pyramids is also a great main set. You go up and then you go down, 100, 200, 300, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've seen 50, 100, 203 to 150. There are many different ways you can do pyramids, but you could really break that up. You could even add 500 in here and then go down from 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here's another main set. Here's another combo. So sometimes we'll do a main set with maybe some pull buoys and paddles and some kicking. So a great combo set is what I call them, or what we all call them, is 6 by 200 swim. And then you do a 50 kick, whether it's with the board, whether it's with fins, whatever you feel like you need to do. You could also do a 4 by 300 swim, and in between, you do 200 pull buoy and paddles. Guess what? That is 2,000 meters right there, right there. You can also do 5 by 100 swim and then 100 pull buoys and paddles. Once again, that is 1,000 meters right there. 4 by 200 swim with 200 pull buoy paddles. It's very simple. And then one of my favorites for testing athletes is doing a 1,000-meter swim test. This is when you go as hard as you can for 1,000 meters. I've seen other coaches do about 800. If you are new to swimming and 1,000 meters absolutely horrifies you, I get it. So what you can do is you can break that up. You could do 2 by 500s. You can do a 500 swim, rest as long as you need, and then repeat that. And then repeat that swim test again within a month, and then maybe do 2 by 500s again, but give yourself a 30-second rest. So you'll see a difference, but you must keep that time clock going so then you could see where you are for that full 1,000. Also, if even 500 scares you, you can always break it up at 250s. So you could do 4 by 250s. Once again, there's so many combos that you can do. It is truly endless. And so if you get stuck on what to do, I usually go to my coach, but I am your coach. So if you're stuck, please reach out to me, Jen at jenrulon.com, and I will give you a handful of of swim workouts, or Sarah McClarity has a whole bunch of amazing swim workouts as well. This is probably one of my favorite sets, pull buoy and paddles, because you'll notice that we're doing some of those during the main set. But sometimes if you are tired or exhausted, it is fantastic doing the pull buoys and paddles. So you could swim with the pull buoy and paddle, you could swim with the buoy only, you could swim with paddles only. And if you look back at the missions, you'll see what the pull buoys and paddles look like. You could do 3x100. You can break it up however you want. But pull buoy and paddles is a great way to cool that body down. And last but not least, there you go. Here's your cool down. So usually if you have, let's say, a warm up of 500, I'm going to make this easy for me with my math. Then you're going to do 600 of drill work. So that's 1100. Then you're going to do 1,000 meters of main set. So that's 2,100. And then what you'll do is you'll do 400 cool down. So you could do 3x100 pull buoy and paddles. You could do 300 kick with fins. You could even change up the stroke. And then you could do maybe an easy 100-meter swim. You could even have fun and do some breath holds as well. Or you just do an easy 200-meter swim. Usually when I put together workouts for everybody is I look at the whole workout, right? So I look at the warm-up, I look at the drills, I look at the main sets, and then I look at that cool down. Because I'm looking for athletes. If you're doing a sprint or Olympic distance, we're looking at about a 2,000 to at least a 2,500 meter swim each time. Now, there is an exception to the rule. If you are feeling exhausted, then you need to just jump in that pool and knock out 1,500s. All right, guys, that is it. I hope you learned a lot on this series, and don't worry, we're going to be doing more sooner than later. Take care, guys.